Well, after spending some time with yet another organization and we making things happen, regardless of what these retarded fuck ass haters has to say, I'm glad I'm back again. But that's right, they hate us. This is why they give a fuck about us at the same time. I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs they love to hate, even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why we got retarded fucks keeping us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again. In which y'all already see the title of this one. And shout out to Anton Daniels. I'll leave the link to his full video in the comment section. Go check it out. But apparently we have this woman here who's asking why did her boyfriend, or shall we now say ex-boyfriend, didn't intervene into some shit that she put herself into. That's right. She inserted herself, which resulted into a conflict, and then she's wondering why her now ex-boyfriend did not intervene. And what you got to be the most retarded fuck-ass individual on the planet to think that you're going to insert yourself into something that shouldn't be any of your business at all. And when the shit hits the fan, you expect for your boyfriend to jump in. However, your boyfriend completely understands why you're doing this shit for. Therefore, he decided to withdraw, and now you're in your fifis about it. But enough of me talking. Let's get down to this, shall we?
I broke up with my boyfriend, someone I love, someone I have known for over 10 years, because he didn't stand up to misogynistic young men when he was given the opportunity. We had just finished watching Adolescence, a miniseries on Netflix that...
Oh, I get it now. He wouldn't stand up to misogyny that you caused. And this goes back to what I said. A lot of these bitches is contributing to the same shit they want to cry, bitch, and complain about. And how do we know for a fact that it's misogyny in the first place? What, did they say something derogatory towards you? Did they call you out your name? What is it that made you think that it's misogyny, ma'am? Let's continue. Oh, before we continue, a lot of these retarded fucks are watching way too many movies or retarded fuck ass Netflix fictional series while pretending that it's a documentary, and then they want to take what they saw in these shows and try to depict it out in real life. Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of that shit too. But let's continue.
Essentially talks about how boys are being more and more radicalized online, how parents aren't paying attention, and how it's really up to men to help solve this problem, because they're surely not going to listen to us. So we were walking to the farmer's market, and right behind us were two boys, probably 13 or 14 years old, and they were saying things like, Trump is the best, what has he ever done, he has more followers online, I don't get why no one would like him. And I was seething because my 6'4", handsome, white privileged boyfriend wasn't saying anything. And so finally I stop, I turn around, and I get right in their face, and I said, he's a best, he's a
God damn, I know how to pause. And there you have it. We come across our first red flag. Our very first red flag. First off, that wasn't even her. It wasn't even her business to even try to jump into their conversation. But she wondered why her 6-foot boyfriend did not intervene. So basically, them talking to those two teenage boys. Those two teenage boys said something that hurt your goddamn fifis, ma'am. Their conversation, which was Trump, by the way, got your panties fall up your booty crack to the point to where you decided that you would take the liberty, turn around, and confront them dead in their face about their conversation. They ain't got shit to do with you. You completely inserted yourself into their conversation. And now you're on camera wondering why your now ex-boyfriend did not intervene. And by the way, did I fail to mention these are teenage boys? You, ma'am, are a grown-ass adult bitching in teenagers' faces about their conversation? Need I say more? Let's continue.
Unified rapist, and they go white in the face. Boyfriend? Still just standing there, not saying anything. Once the boys get their bearings, they say something like, Trump is my daddy, Trump is your daddy. And I was furious. I had a full-blown crash out. I took my full morning latte and I smashed it on the ground and I grunted and yelled and walked away. And he's like, what's the matter? You're the matter. Not even the boys so much. Him, because he had an opportunity to stand up against misogyny. And
bitch, shut the fuck up. And yeah, I'm calling you that for a reason. Ma'am, you was the one who got into those boys' faces. You was the one who inserted yourself into their conversation. They ain't got nothing to do with you. And at the very moment, they dogging your ass out, now you're all up in your feelings and emotions. Oh, now you're the victim. Yeah, that's right, ma'am. You are now the victim of your own foul play. And let me be upfront and real, call a ball and a strike a strike. Those two teenage boys got you looking like a goddamn child. And all it took for them was to dog you out. Next thing you know, you're throwing your latte all over the place. You're stumping out, grunting like a man, all because your feelings got hurt. And need a reminder. Their conversation had nothing to do with you. You chose to put yourself into their conversation. But you sitting there wondering, oh, why your now ex-boyfriend didn't get involved. He didn't say nothing. And this right here, fellas, is a red flag. Be wary of these women who will literally put themselves in the line of fire and expecting you to jump in and take the bullet. And yeah, a lot of men end up getting hurt or worse, killed because they let their girlfriends, they let their wives put themselves in a dangerous situation. Now, those were just two teenage boys. Imagine if these were two men talking. She's getting up in their face. So one of them pulls out a gun, and then what? Your life will be gone all because your girlfriend or your wife decided to start a conflict. And this is why I'm telling fellas, especially your younger dudes out there, be wary of women like this. Be wary of women who will put themselves in the line of fire. Let's continue.
Didn't.
Y'all don't realize, and I hope that her boyfriend sees this and he's not hurt or he's not bothered by the commentary that she's saying online, because the first red flag is that she's having commentary about breaking up with her boyfriend in a personal relationship online. But dude, you dodged the biggest headache of your life. You dodged purgatory, torture, and the worst thing ever. When a woman breaks up with you, don't look at it as a bad thing. 99% of the time, it's a good thing, especially if they say something like, you had a chance to stand up to misogyny and you didn't. Especially when it's something like, I yelled at a bunch of people and I expected for you to stand up and crash out as a result of it. Especially when it's something.
And let's get these retarded fucks the benefit of the doubt as well here. Suppose if her ex boyfriend did jump in, did intervene, who's gonna be looking bad in the end? The two teenage boys or his grown ass? Or what's worse, he decides to amp up, put his hands on one of those teenage boys. What's gonna happen? His ass is going to fucking jail. And it ain't no bullshit here. In some of these states, they don't fucking play around with grown ass people harming minors. And yeah, you put your hands on a child. You might as well pick out which one is your favorite orange jumpsuit, because that's where it's gonna land. That's where it's gonna land you at. And I bet the entire farm, 40 acres and a mule, that her now ex-boyfriend understood the situation, understood that she's confronting two teenage boys, ages 14 and 15. And he decided, no, 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 no. I ain't gonna risk getting myself locked up or embarrassed trying to fight try, trying to fight two teenage boys, all because the woman I'm with wants to insert herself and be combative off the gate. I mean, I swear to God, with women like this, who needs to tee up for men when you got these women who are more than willing to jump on social media and show each and every man on the face of the earth all of their red flags? So basically, she is both assertive as well as combative, and love to start conflicts while expecting her man to bail her out. No, that would. I mean, for a man with common sense, that would be a hard pass right there. But I digress. Let's continue.
Something like, we watched a documentary that I had a battery in my back all of a sudden. So when I went to get my latte, now I decided to put myself into a situation that would get us both in trouble, especially when it comes to inserting yourself into other people's business. And I ain't even got to the point where she's wrong about Trump, but we'll get to that in a second. My point is that sometimes when you let people kick it with you or talk long enough or show themselves, let them. Don't prevent them from being exactly who they are, because it's going to basically save you a lifetime of misery and the biggest headache of your life. Now, the first question that I have to ask is, why were you guys watching this documentary called Adolescence? I'm guessing that's the name of the documentary on Netflix. My algorithm, it doesn't present me with the same stuff that it presents everybody else. So when I go on Netflix, I get really good movies and, stuff that I love to watch and all of that type of stuff. And I don't watch much TV, so I'm very thankful that it's not presenting me with this dumb stuff. But why is y'all.
Yeah, I prefer Hulu, HBO Max, and Paramount Plus overall. And I rarely watch TV nowadays. but once every blue moon. But it's amazing how a fictional series, which everybody wants to be a documentary, got these bitter broads all gassed up, ready to fight anyone that they disagree with. That shit is beyond me. Let's continue.
Algorithm even putting that on there, or are y'all searching for that? And that's what it's starting to recommend you based off of your previous history. I don't let nobody I don't let nobody use my Netflix account because I don't want them messing up my algorithm. You got to use the guest account if you want to use a Netflix account or something like that. That's the first red flag because people don't realize how influential documentaries, which is really propaganda, is very influential. And a lot of times have you doing stuff that you wouldn't normally do and doing things to people that you wouldn't normally do it to. So y'all got to be careful of the content that you take in and the people that you surround yourself with. And it's funny because she said my 6'4" boyfriend with white privilege, which means that she already looked at you a certain way and she's expecting for you to act a certain way based off of her presentation of what you are and who you are and how you've lived your life in real life. And so you already behind the eight ball and she already looks at you as a certain thing. And I'm also very confused at women that say, where are all the strong liberal men? Well, I tend to think that, and this again.
Wait, she's serious? Wait, she's serious? Ma'am, if there were strong liberal men out there, then how come your fellow liberal women is seeking conservative men? I don't get that part. In fact, even I asked that question to a certain magazine editor. If conservative men are so bad for you, for a liberal woman such as yourself, how come you're not seeking liberal men? Could it be that most of the liberal men aren't as strong as y'all think? I guess so. No, I know so. But if that's the case, why is she looking for a strong liberal man if we turn on YouTube, if we go to social media, and we see how the vast majority of liberal men act like? Shoot, I got a bunch of liberal retarded fucks all up on my ass, still begging for my dick and attention. But let's continue.
It's just my personal opinion that most men that are liberal, not even independent, not conservative, not that vote Republican, so on and so forth, most of those guys tend to have a lot more femininity to them. Real talk. They don't stand up for themselves. They simp out a lot. Her man seemed like he's just an easygoing guy, and so thank God that he didn't turn into super simp and he went out there and crashed out, because this brings me to my second point. Why would you insert yourself into something that don't have nothing to do with you?
Exactly. Their conversation had nothing to do with her ass. She chose to turn around and get in their face about their conversation. But what does that conversation have to do with her? Absolutely nothing. Say it again, yeah. And when they played her ass out, now she want to act like a fucking baby. Now she wants to beat on her chest like a goddamn ape. In which that's not bothering them. The only person that's bothered by it is her ass. But let's continue.
always say this because women say that they want provision and protection as the number one things and the number two things that come along with a relationship. But part of protection is proactively preventing you from doing something that you wouldn't do in the first place. And so he didn't have her trained not to, as a woman, throw your latte on the ground because that could have turned different. Getting into people's face, especially young kids, because they not taking all of this nonsense. And thank God that the young kids started trolling her again after they paused and they said, Trump is your daddy and all of this. They're not influenced by your little crash out, which you thought was going to change anything. And all you did was mess up the latte, mess up the ground. Now a worker got to come and clean up after you. And you crashed out for no reason, which then
embarrassed yourself out in public. And now you're single. Now you're back single again because you expect a man to take a bullet for you. He's like, oh, fuck no. You got yourself in this mess. You get your own ass up out of it. And as I said before, those teenage boys got her acting like a goddamn child. And I say that to any fucking adult who let a child. No, hear me when I say this. This is how I look at adults who get so easily triggered by what a child say. So basically, those two teenage boys made her drop all the way down below their level. Out the gate, let's continue.
Me to my third point, and then you checked him for watching you put yourself or put them in danger because you can't control how people react to you. So you inserted yourself in somebody else's business. You assumed that he was privileged, which what the hell is privilege? Like, God blesses us all with different gifts and different talents and, whatever. And so we play our cards accordingly. And it doesn't mean that all white people has not went through something. There's plenty of poor white people. There's plenty of people that had problems. There's plenty of people that had messed up parents. So a lot of things is going on.
Straight up.
Again, inserting yourself and then checking him, like, who are you talking to? He played it beautifully. He played it the best ever. And I'm hope that
he played it cool while she was hot and hyped. Isn't that what that rap song came from? Is that the name of that rap song? While you out there fronting the mood, I'll be playing it cool. Yeah, that is a rap song. Yeah, let's continue.
He don't call you because I hate to see good men's lives ruined by people that don't truly understand how to control themselves. And then she still believe, I don't even think that she probably broke up with him, but let's assume for the sake of conversation, she still
God, I hope he did.
Believes that she's right, and she jumps online and she tells a story about how her boyfriend, she had to break up with him because he didn't stand up to misogyny, which she lied because Trump is not a rapist. He's never, ever, ever been that. We all know that Letitia James in New York and Fonnie Willis down in Georgia and Fulton County, and we all know that they was throwing all of these whack charges on him in order to try to prevent him from being president of the United States again, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And that's the thing that really pisses people off. People hate the fact that he's not fumbling, that he's greater than he was in 2017-16, which is insane because it's like, man, y'all really got the best version of him. He learned so much, and he's executing, and he's winning on every.
Out the gate. But I'm going to stop it right here. And fellas, as I told y'all, be wary of women like this who will put themselves in the line of fire and then expecting you to take a bullet for them. And there's a reason why I say it the way that I said it. Because oftentimes, you will have women out here that will insert themselves into other people's business and got shit to do. They ain't talking about them, ain't got shit to do with them, causing a conflict. And I know plenty enough that in some cases, the shit gets drastic. Up to a point to where someone gets beat up, someone gets hurt, or worse, someone gets killed in the process. But they don't care. They don't care. So basically, you got women like her. They'll start shit with other people, and expect for the man that they're with, to be their human shield. And which, as I say before, y'all fellas need to look at that shit as a red flag. First off, why is your girlfriend or your wife trying to start conflict with someone else or a group of people that ain't none of her business to begin with? And next you know, there's a fucking tragedy because you want to jump in. Don't Fellas, avoid those type of women like the plague. But that's all I got to say. Again, shout out to Anton Daniels. If y'all want to watch his full video in its entirety, I'll leave the link in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell him JD Mouse sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.